Hari Om, Bhajagovindam chanting verses 26 till the end.
Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham Atmajnana vihina mudha te pachyante narakanigudha Yeyam Gita Nama Sahasram Dheyam Shripati Rupamajasram Neyam Sajjana Sange Chittam Deyam Dina Janaya Chavittam Sukhatah kriyate Rama bhogah paschadhanta sharire rogah Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchati papacharanam Arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nasti tata sukhalesha satyam Putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatra isha vihitaritihi Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam Japya sameta samadhi vidhanam purvavadhanam mahadavadhanam Guru charanambuja nirbhara bhaktah samsarad chiradbhava muktah Sendriya manasa niyamadevam Drakshasi nija hridayastham devam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Samprapte sannihite kale Nahi rakshati dukrin karane Nahi rakshati dukrin karane Nahi rakshati dukrin karane
Om. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryankaravavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti. This poem, this olive tree, the poet explains about two hermits who wanted to have their, oil they needed for their evening prayer. So for the prayer, when they need oil, they thought it's better we'll plant an olive tree, get that olive seed, and we extract that olive oil and use it. So those two hermits wanted this oil, so they planted this olive tree. And the first hermit who planted this olive tree, he started praying to the Lord that this olive seed needs rain. The rain came. Then he said, oh, too much of rain. it needs sunlight. So immediately the clouds parted and the sun beamed. So now it got that sunlight. And then he said, now it needs, proper, fertilization from earth. So immediately the moon light came and, gave vitality to the things so that the seed can absorb the nutrient and swell and grow. And all that prayers of the hermit was answered. But then he says, by evening song, the olive tree had died. The tree perished. The rain came, the sunlight came, that air came, the fertilization came, this, moonlight came, everything that is required, all the prayers of this hermit was answered. But ultimately, the olive tree died. So the hermit got really upset. So he went to see his brother. Let's see what happened to our brother. So who is in the neighboring side or the other side of the forest he is staying. So he went there to see him. There he saw a huge olive tree, abundant olive tree, huge. It had abundance of olive oil. So the hermit got really surprised. He said, what did you do? How is it that you have that olive tree and mine is dead? The second hermit asked him, what did you do? He said, yeah, this is what happened. He narrated the whole story. I planted the seed and then I prayed for the Lord to give, shower came. Then I prayed for, sunshine came. Then I prayed for, vitality from the moonlight and all that came. But then my olive tree died. Whereas, what did you do? To which the second hermit gave a beautiful reply. He said, I didn't do anything. I planted the seed and kept quiet. What? This makes a beautiful statement. He who made well than a man like me, says, is the one who had created. He knows better what is needed for the olive seed. He knows how much of sunshine should be given, when the rain should be given, when this moonlight should be given, how much it should be given. He knows better. I didn't interfere in that scheme. That is why I got the tree. You interfered with the scheme. Therefore, you didn't get the tree. It's exactly what Shankara gives here as the advice. Beautiful advice of Shankara. Kuruvavadhanam mahadavadhanam. Do it with care, with great care. Let your attention never be deviated from the effort. Don't go into the result. Don't slip. Let not the mind slip into the result orientation. But the problem we have is this: we get that the motivation we have is only on the hope of the result, the promise of the result. If I am not confident of a result of something, then I am not motivated to do it. No motivation comes. Why? Because we don't have value for the performance of action. Our value is only for the result. Action is only a means to get it. If I can get that result directly without effort, I would prefer that. You see, if there is a possibility, why will I lose that chance? No one will go through this path. Now we are all working. Why you are working is only because work is the only way through which you can get the result. If you can get it without your effort, we will not put in effort. Because value is not for the performance of action. Value is only for the result. Performance of action is incidental. I can't avoid it. Therefore, I am performing it. But there's no value for it. See, Why? Because fundamental motivation comes to me is only from that action. That's the meaning of a layman. Who is a layman? Layman is one who gets motivation from the result of action. You see, it's a very simple equation in life to understand. See, result is always a collective effort. Result is never one unit, one man's effort. If you take the action, if you take the performance people, if you take an organization, you will never find a single organization where everyone in the company is 100 out of 100. Isn't it? Every level of the organization, it's not 100 out of 100. It is not that everyone is putting effort of 100%, but everyone believes they are putting 100%. I'm not talking about that. You see, if you ask everyone individually, you go and ask, did you give your best? Did you give your best? Did you give your best? Everyone will say what? I have given 100% of myself to the organization. You will never find a single individual. You see, externally they may say, but deep within himself he believes what? I'm not talking about it. You see, what you believe. I say, no one can put in 100% effort. It is not possible because we don't know what is 100%. Like I have never understood this idea in that, we have 35% of market share. I say, what is market share? As though, who knows 100 first of all? See, first you should have 100. That 100 should be divided by the 4 players. Then yes, first of all, we don't even know that 100. That is how market is expanding, no? Every market is expanding, every market is shrinking. What is the market share of Konica and Kotak film? They had no Canon, Konica, Kotak film industry that photograph films. Now where is it? It doesn't exist, right? It's gone. You see, similarly, pager. You see, certain markets are disappearing, certain markets are appearing and expanding. What is the market share? Nobody knows 100%. Similarly, what is 100% in terms of your effort? You don't know. No one knows. So, every one of us are putting only at different levels. One person may be putting 80%, one person may say 70, one person may 60, one person may put 10, another person may put 2% effort. That's about it. I don't do more than that. My exertion is only 2%. My exertion is only about 10-15%. Most of us sit on the effort that we had put in 20 years back. You see, say for example, today I have to do this class. Basagovindam, which verse, sir? Verse 30. Now I come and sit. I open the text. I read. What is that, sir? Where are we now? Kuruvavadanam, Mahadavadanam. Kada, thoughts will come to me. All these thoughts, I am not putting effort right now and bringing it out. Remember, all these things I had studied, I had worked about 20 years back. Now I am sitting on that. That's all. It's like a businessman who started a company. He worked. The company reached a particular size. After that, what is he doing? He's sitting on the performance of the company and he's living. That's about it. Today, what did you do? I'm not talking about post-retirement, please. I'm not talking about that. Even in the office, when you say, in the last 3 months, what did you do for you to enjoy the benefits? The salary. Nothing, no. which means what is 100%? 100% in action not possible. Remember that. Which means each one is putting at different levels. When the efforts were all variables, the result is going to be in alignment with whom? Whose effort? I put 2%, you put 20%, another person puts 40, another person puts 55, another person puts 65, 75, another person puts 22, 22 and a half, 17 and a half, 97.3%, another person may put in. Now, the final result is going to be with any one of this or collective, median of that. It's going to be a collective one, remember. Result is always collective. Therefore, your effort, your result will never be in alignment. Why? Because of two factors. One, you don't know what is 100%. Number two, result is not going to be produced only by your effort in life. It's all the contribution of so many people around you, which means everyone has contributed, everyone has played their part. Which means, what is the number we have actually? Median only we will get. The resultant of all that put together alone will produce a result. So, result is not in my hands. Then why should you bother about result? Then why are you getting motivated from the result for you to perform action? In the final stage of that meditation, the person is chanting the mantra and he is going to lose that individuality and merge with the totality. He is going to get that realization. That crossover of realization is not going to be happening because of your effort. Then what are you putting effort for, sir? Shankara in Atmabodha gives a beautiful example. He says, it is like sunlight coming. Remember, it's like sunlight, he says. What is sunlight coming into the house? By pulling the curtain, by closing, by the walls that you have created, if you put total walls around you, you have blocked the sunlight entering your house. Right? Now, I break the wall. Because I have broken the wall, doesn't mean sun is obligated to come inside my house. Sunlight is not obligated to come, isn't it? But I can do one thing. What? I can build a wall. I can put the curtain and not allow the sunlight to enter. That I can do. So all your spiritual effort, what are you doing? He says it's like breaking the wall. You break the wall. Just because you have broken the wall doesn't mean sun is obliged. But the rule is what? You break the wall, what the sunlight does? Smoothly it comes in. It will not say. You see, or he gives the example of a wind. I put the windows. Wind will not somehow try to push itself and come inside. No. It will just touch and go away. But the moment I open the window, what happens? The wind enters. So closing the window or opening the window is all I can do. Wind coming or not coming is not in my hand. Sunlight coming is not in my hand. It is the prerogative of sunlight. If the sunlight decides, Just because you have opened doesn't mean I have to enter. I cannot force the sunlight to come into my house. Same way, you cannot be forcing yourself for realization to happen. But one thing for sure, what is it? You break the wall, sunlight will come in. You can be so sure about it. You don't have to have second thought on this. It look as though helplessly the sunlight is coming in. It's not that you are forcing or the sun is obligated. It's a helpless situation for the sunlight. Similarly, for the realization happening is a helpless situation. You don't have to do anything. You just have to relax. That's all. You just relax, it happens. So he says, just relax. Guru avadhanam mahadavadhanam. Don't get into this result orientation. The problem is this for all of us. Like this Mullah Nazruddin. He's studying in a school. The mathematics teacher came in and she gave a problem for these fellows to solve. He said, $50,000. I gave her 50,000 pounds with 1% simple interest, compound interest for 5 years. Calculate, he said. What is the difference? And everybody started doing the calculations and all those things. And Mullah was not doing anything, he's simply sitting. And the teacher asked, what is it? Hey, why are you not putting in? He said, this 1% interest for $50,000 is not inspiring to me. It's not motivating. Give me a percentage which is better. At least you have to say 5.5%. See, 1% interest is not interest at all actually. FD, if you put, you give me that problem, then I will solve. That's what we are. Your motivation itself is coming from where? You are motivated only because of the hope of achieving the result. You got to get that surety of achieving the result. Like this girl, who swam across the English, canal. When she was swimming, first time she lost. She gave up. Second time she crossed. They asked her, why did you give up the first time? What had happened? She said, first time when I was swimming, I chose the wrong timing because it was all around, there's a mist. I could not see the shore. Second time, there is no mist. I could see the shore. Seeing the shore is sufficient enough for me to motivate me to swim the last leg. Because first time when she gave up, it was just, another little distance only. She could have easily managed. But the problem is what? She couldn't see the shore. Same way, this fellow's condition is like that. You are in the verge of realization. Invariably, what will happen? That excitement will come. Tremendous excitement comes. Tremendous uncertainty comes. That excitement and uncertainty put together will create that pain. That's why technically they say the people, the pain of birth, is all psychological. Actually, there is no pain. They say. Now, none of the women will agree to it. They say, what nonsense you are talking, they say. But they say, correct. Because there are many aboriginals there, they give birth, childbirth. What are they doing, sir? They go, ladies, many records are there. The lady goes into the jungle, forest, to collect the, twigs. She delivers a baby in the forest. She comes back with the twigs and the baby. He said, how is it possible? Why? In the jungle, nobody was there. She gives the birth to the child. She herself cuts the umbilical cord and she brings the child and she also comes. What is, like all of us say, no, we have to wash the baby as soon as the baby is born. How these people were washing the babies in the desert? There's no water. You know how they were washing? Cleaning the baby. Sand. Ancients in the Arabs country, what they were doing there, the Middle East countries, how they were doing that? They're using the sand to clean the baby. Today, if you tell that to a modern man, they say, this is, no, that's not the right thing to be done. This is not the right thing to be done. I'm not saying we have to go back to that place. You see, all I'm saying is you need to understand certain things are all notional. There's no reality to it. But that notion is sufficient enough for us to feel the things. It becomes real to us. See, same way. The motivation we get only from what, sir? The hope of getting the result. It is not that you have to get actual result. If I suspect I can get the result is enough for me to motivate myself to do the action. The moment I suspect, there is no guarantee. That is why Vedanta never will get a great following. Not now. You see, not now. Never Vedanta had a great following. Other systems had a better following. Why is that? Vedanta never gives any guarantee. You see, other places you go, guarantee. I have this problem. What is to be done? All that you have to do is what? Go to the temple. Koke Subramanya is there. Okay, go to the temple, do this puja, problem solved. Or the fellow says, all that you have to do is what? You just have to change your name. One of the businessmen was telling now recently, I added that yes, extra yes in the name. After that, my business started growing. Guaranteed. Whether it happens or not is not our problem. You see, what is a connection? That I want somebody to tell me all that you have to do is what? This you do, problem solved. I will take care. You don't have to do anything. Simply come. That's why, this philosophy is very, very popular. Thousands are following. But Uddharet Atmanatmanam, Krishna is not popular. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja is very popular. Isn't it? You see, same Krishna is a fellow who says in the same Bhagavad Gita, not even some other text, same Bhagavad Gita, he says, Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Atmanam avasadayet. Atmanyeva atmanatushta. Yes. Now, what is it? You are lift yourself by yourself. You have to grow yourself by yourself. Uddharet atmanatmanam. That Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is not popular. Whereas Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja is very, very appealing and popular. Isn't it? Now, which mantra, which verse is known to all of you? How many of you know this verse? Uddharet Atmanatmanam. Ask people. You see, this verse is very, very popular and there is a huge following. Why? Krishna says what? Just surrender to me. Guaranteed. I grant you moksha. What is your problem? I give you, man. Now, anywhere they talk about something with certainty, we go for. Why? Because mind demands that result. Mind has a weakness for the result. The result need not be real. It can just be notional. It can be just a promise, empty promise. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, give empty promise. People will follow. Zero. You have to say. You see how this is. Mind is result oriented. It says, Uruvavadanam Mahadavadanam. Superb advice of Shankara. The four steps he gave in the spiritual effort. Now, concluding that with his advice, final concluding verse of this Bhajagovindam. Guru Charanambuja Nirbara Bhakta Samsaradachi Radbhava Mukta Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam Drakshasi Nija Hridayastam Devam. Guru Charanambuja Nirbara Bhakta Samsaradachi Radbhava Mukta Sendriya Manasa Niyama Devam Drakshasi Nija Hridayastam Devam. Surrendering to the lotus feet of the Guru, the devotee soon becomes liberated from samsara. Through control the senses, through the control of the senses and mind, you will behold the Lord seated in your heart. Drakshasi Nija Hridayastam Dev. You will see the Lord in your heart. Now he gives the final one. Through the surrendering to the lotus feet of Guru. How do you drop that result orientation? Now he is giving a clue for us. Sir, how can I drop the result orientation? You drop the result orientation by this thing of surrendering to the Guru. See, surrender gives the focus. You see, you need that. It's like you need a Guru. Otherwise, it's not possible. That's what he is saying. You see, from the beginning till the last step, you cannot progress without a Guru. It is not possible. Till date in the world, not a single fellow had attained spiritual enlightenment without a Guru. Every one of them have had. For Ramana Maharishi, Lord Arunachala himself becomes the Guru. That's all. It's not that he may not be having a Guru physically. Not necessarily. And it is not necessary that you have to have only one Guru. That is also not necessary. But you cannot have parallelly two Gurus. That is not possible. Remember. That won't work. That will confuse you. You see, like you can't have, it is not like, school. In the school you will have one teacher will teach history, geography, another teacher will teach science, another teacher will teach English, another teacher will teach mathematics. Parallelly. But Guru you can't have parallel, but you can have many. That is possible. At different stages you need a different Guru. That is possible. You can't treat it like, I have seen a lot of people doing this. Either they don't have any Guru. They say, I will do it on my own. This is one Guru. There's a lot of them do that. There is a small minority who have that attitude. I interest in the spiritual things. I'll take good from everybody. You say, no, you cannot take, please. Don't fall for such, delusive ideas. It's like, I always give this example, remember, it's like, what is the best aspect of alto? Nano car. What is the best aspect of nano car? So small. You see, back engine. The driver will never hear the sound. Only others will hear. Outsiders only will hear. Driver will not hear sound. That's the best part of it. What is the best part of BMW? What is the best part of Innova? The best part of Innova is the height. Imagine you create a car with all these best aspects of this, best aspect of this, best aspect of this. Can you create a car? It is not possible. You see, you cannot. You cannot say that, a beautiful eyebrows you take from one person, and you take a beautiful nose from another person, beautiful lips, other person, beautiful forehead, another person, beautiful cheeks, another person, beautiful, put all together. You will get a caricature. You will not get a face. It's not possible. You see, it has happened. But theoretically, when you talk, it looks fantastic. I will take good from everybody. No. You take something, take it as a package. You take Vedanta, it comes as a package. You attend Ishwaran's class, it's a package. What is it, sir? This guy will go on talking. That's all. Nothing will happen. He will never say what I have to do. Finally, Ishwaran, what are you saying? I'll say we'll meet next class and close the class. That's all. There is a value for this. At the same time, it has a limitation. It is so applicable to, at the same time, it is not applicable. But the problem is, when you have parallelly, I have seen people. For that, I will have this person. For this, I will have that person. They think, spiritual advice, is like going to a school. No, it's not a school. But that doesn't mean you have to have only one guru. Not necessarily. You see, not necessarily. You can graduate to a next guru. But that has to be told. That has to be guided and directed by the guru. You don't take a call. See, Shivananda directed Chimayananda to Tapovan Maharaj. You see, Chimayananda went to Rishikesh not to study Vedanta. He was doing investigative journalism on all these ashrams, all the swamis he would go. It was Balakrishna then, my grand guru, my guru's guru, Chimayananda. So no one can object. How can you talk about Chimayananda Ishwaran? I have all the rights. Why? He is my grandfather. So I can talk. Others I don't know about, but this man I can speak because of my guru's guru I come from that parampara. We are of that parampara. What is it, sir? When I went to Rishikesh, they asked me in Ananda, where do you want to go? I said, I want to go to Shivananda Ashram. Asked me why? I said, we will go to Aarti. I said, I'm not interested in that Aarti, Ganga Aarti. I said, I'm not coming. You guys go. I'll go to Shivananda Ashram and come back. So they're asking me, what is it that you are going to see? I said, no, I want to touch that land. I want to touch that place. Why? That is my parampara. I come from that parampara. So I have that. So the Balakrishna actually was a journalist who wanted to write an article exposing these people. So he was writing a series. In that he wanted to expose Shivananda also. That's why he went there. Because Shivananda is very popular at that time. You see, he was doing a great service. Now he went there that meeting with Shivananda transformed Balakrishna, and he resigned from the company and he joined this ashram and he took sannyasa. And that's the time he gave that name, Chinmayananda. That's how we know Chinmayananda. After a period of time, Balakrishna got so much of intellectual appetite he had. Shivananda directed him to Tapovan Maharaj. He said, you want to study Vedanta more. Under me, I can't teach you Vedanta. You want to study Vedanta more in detail, you have to go to that person. So that is how Chinmayananda was sent to Tapovan Maharaj to study. So actual Vedanta he studied under Tapovan Maharaj only. You see, even though sannyasa was given, Diksha was given by Shivananda, but the teaching was done by Tapovan Maharaj. See, that guru should guide. So he himself had two gurus. Shivananda he had, and then yeah. But Vivekananda had only one guru, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. That's all. So it's not necessary that you have to have multiple. Doesn't mean if you have multiple gurus means you are great. Nothing of that sort, please. You will get more confused. You won't get any greatness. Because the Veda, this Chandogya Upanishad says very clearly, the one who has the teacher alone comes to realize the truth. Acharyavan Purusho Veda says. The one with the teacher alone gets the Veda. There means not the Vedas that we talk about. Veda means the Brahma Vidya. Brahman. The realization can come only to a person who has that. Otherwise you will not get it. You need that guide. Remember. And in that guru, the most important dimension of a guru is his feet. See, the feet is the most important dimension of a guru. See, when you go to God, there they give a different dimension. There to God, they give different aspects. Mostly gods, for Mahalakshmi, we don't talk about her feet. For Mahalakshmi, which is the most important one, sir? Her eyes. Mahalakshmi should look at you, that's all. All that you need is what? A glance of Mahalakshmi is enough, taken care of. You don't need anything else. So, for other gods, it's a different thing. You see? So each god, they have their own things. So to a guru, they say, which is the most important one, sir? Is the feet. The lotus feet of the guru. And it's compared to a flower. First one is why it is a flower. Flower represents something which is auspicious. Flower means auspiciousness. That is why we keep flowers in the hair. It's not for decoration, please. People think it is for decoration, not for decoration. It's kept for auspiciousness. It is auspicious. To have a flower is an auspicious thing. You should have hair for that. I've seen people with bob, they put one, they won't work, right? It's auspicious. Second one is flower is because, it is so pleasing to see, it is so pleasant. Just the look at the flower is so, attractive and eye-catching. And that is when you have to go pedicure, manicure and all that, please. That's not what is referred. Immediately don't say, Paduka means, this one. Nothing of that, sir. That is why when a guru comes, first thing we do is Pada Puja we do. Why? This is so, it is, pleasant to the perception, to the eyes. It is so nice to see. Like, we see this Nataraja statues there. No? If you see that, Nataraja will be standing on a demon. You've seen that? Stamping on it. Today, if someone were to create it, they will say it is abuse of a human. How can you present like that? You know, it will become like a case actually. They will file a case on you if you do that today. But then what is it, sir? The demon, they in that, the scriptures beautifully they describe. He's stamping on it, but still he doesn't feel the weight. He's standing, but the demon doesn't feel that pain at all actually. Doesn't feel that pain. That is why we have Ganesha. What is his Vahana? Ganesha comes on what's a rat. Look at the size of Ganesha. Imagine that fellow goes and sits on the rat. What will happen? The mouse actually, not even rat, it's a mouse. He sits on the mouse. What will happen to that mouse? Why is that? It is so light. You see, looks so huge, but it's so light, so tender. Guru's feet is compared to a flower. Why is that? He looks so huge because you look at him, you get a feel of wow. When you see them, you should deal with gurus for that. If you have never met a guru, I can't do anything, right? That also you should meet a guru. As a guru, you have to see, right? If you see him as a neighbor, now what can you do? Like as a fellow, see, Swamiji always will refer to this guy, the neighbor in Land's End, in Bombay. He will address Swamiji. Swamiji, how are you, Swamiji? Morning, and he goes for jogging. You meet him there and ask him, Swamiji, how is it? I saw you're holding. I saw your things there. How is the lectures going? How is it going? Everything fine. Bye. You'll say and walk out. He says, everyone in the world has attended my lecture except that fellow, he says. Even if it's there in YouTube also, that fellow has not heard. Online also. His neighbor, next to door actually. Lanzan, if you go, you see, next to door is this guy. Same floor. It's not, he's in some other floor. No. Next to door he is. Like someone who came here, a few years back when we came, shifted to the apartments. The first thing they are asking, is there any apartment available here? I said, for what? You can buy it. I said, why you want to buy here? You liked it so much or what? No, you are here. No. This fellow is somewhere he's not even in Bangalore actually, this guy. He's living in some other city. Why? Because you are here. And the fellow sitting next to me. The best part is he keeps meeting me all the time. I say, it's fantastic. What? You are great. You are this, you are that. But they can't see. You see, it's not possible. You have to see. Now the flower, why they compared to the flower is, it is so attractive, it's difficult for you to miss it. You see. But if you are totally blind, nothing can be possible. Still you will not see anything. You will not understand. But the best part of the flower is this, it's so pleasant. And imagine the size, quantum of the flower, so much will be there. But if you see the weight of it, it is nothing. So weightless. It is. They don't carry that heaviness, meaning that burden of ego is not there. So light means there is no ego in them. Absolutely relaxed personalities. One. Then you go to this feet. Why they are referring to feet, sir? Remember, in all the gods, the most important feature of a god is a feet. Like I used to tell these fellows, when I was in school, they used to argue. Now I don't discuss all these things now, but in school days, we had a lot of arguments with people. They say, this Hindu religion is, dividing people into 4 categories and, derogatory. Say, why? Because the Shudras were to have been emerged from the feet. You see, Brahmanas from face. In fact, Brahmanas from mouth. One. Then Kshatriyas were born from the shoulder. Vaishyas from thigh. Shudras from feet. So, then they say, what nonsense is this? How can you say Shudras are born from feet? It's derogatory. I said, hey, it's the same Purusha Sukta which defines the entire earth is born macrocosm. When they're discussing, the macrocosm was born from his feet only. One. Go to God, all the gods we are defining, we are going and touching only the feet. Now, who told you feet is low? It's like saying Tamil Nadu is in the lower part of India, higher part of India is Kashmir. Right hand is Bombay, left hand is Calcutta. Therefore, Calcutta, how can you say Calcutta left hand? You know, that's why leftists are there maybe more. You know, Calcutta is known for that. Why is that? Because it's the left hand of India. You see, it's visualization. That's about it. That doesn't mean this is low, that is high. It's so dumb to think like that. See, feet. Why they represent feet is the entire body was held or standing on that feet. You see, the whole body is standing because of the feet. If that feet is not there, you cannot stand. You will fall off. You know that, balancing. You have to get the balance. You need that feet. If the feet is not there, you cannot stand. You will fall. The feet is a most important aspect. It represents what is holding the personality. The personality of the guru is standing on the truth. Our personality is standing on ignorance. Maya. What is the foundation of our personality, sir? Maya. Ignorance. What is his personality standing on? Wisdom, vidya, knowledge. The feet represents that knowledge. So we say, you prostrate to the feet, means I align my thinking to the truth stand for, the vision that you stand for, the idea that you stand for. For that idea, I surrender myself. I align my thinking to yours. I am not aligning my thinking to your thinking. No. You see, that's not the point. So you say, you can afford to disagree with the words of mine. You can disagree with the words of Ishwaran. No issues. Everyone has the right to do that. But you cannot disagree with the truth that is represented. Then you will be in trouble. It's nothing to do with me, please. You can disagree with my words, but not the truth the words represent. Same way, you take that as a symbol representing. Of the flowers, lotus is the biggest flower known. You see, of the knowledges, the knowledge of the self is the biggest, great. Therefore, it is referred to a lotus feet. So you go and surrender to it, means you go and seek guidance. That's what it means. You surrender to the lotus feet of the Guru, means you go and fall at his feet, means you align your thought. You attempt to keep aside yours and take his. But I don't agree with you. You're finished. Nothing can be done. That's how we start. The starting point itself, I don't agree with you. I remember, here in one family, they called me for, discussion. I went there because of the idea, because that lady told me that, the family youngsters wanted to ask some questions. So I went there. This old man is sitting and asking question. I got irritated. Blasted that fellow. And finally, I'm not convinced. I said, who cares? As though I'm caring, you get convinced. I'm not here to convince you. You think I am a marketing fellow or what? To convince you. But it's too low, you see. Why? Ego. That fat ego will never allow yourself to humble. The surrender is that ego is too strong. That's why we get this practice of falling at the feet. You go to a temple or you meet a master, you see elders, senior people, you see, you touch their feet. I really appreciate that, practice in the North India. The South Indians are not good at it. The North Indians, you go. Doesn't matter where they meet that person, I was really stunned to see that when I went to Bombay. I've never seen that in Chennai. In Bombay, when anywhere they see them on the road, they see their fellow on the roadside. This place, that no care. Immediately go and touch their feet. Doesn't matter. It's not that, pranams like, that sashtanga and all, namaskar and all, they don't do. They bend that, either touch their feet and, just move. That's all. The practice is, beautiful to see. Slowly we are losing that now. A very sad thing. Yes, do that. Says Guru. Take the guidance of the Guru. That person, soon he gets, he says. Achirat. Sooner, quickly, at the earliest, he gets into this one. He gets liberated from samsara. So that's what you have to do, sir. Two things he says. How you have to do. He summarizes the whole thing in the last. Thus, through control of the senses and mind, meaning through the practice of self-control and surrender, you get enlightenment. What is the formula of enlightenment, sir? Simple formula. Two things. What is it, sir? Self-control and surrender. 2S is equal to enlightenment. What is it you have to do there? Self-control. Have that control. Develop that self-control. Then he says, you will realize the self. You will behold the Lord seated in your heart. It's a beautiful advice. There's a subtle touch there he gives. Why he says seated in your heart? He gives a good advice to this student who finally he comes. Says, seated in your heart means that bliss of realization, self, knowledge is inside me. It's available inside me. Therefore, there is no necessity for you to become dependent on the Guru. See, surrender, when he is insisting, immediately we think, oh, whole thing is dependent on. No. What you are going to get it is there inside you only. It's there with you anytime. That's all. It's not that he is going to be giving it to you. It is not in his hands, please. That Devam, the self, that witnessing consciousness is what is referred here as the Lord, Devam. You behold, you will see that self standing inside you as a witnessing consciousness, Sakshi. For that, you have to become a Sakshi. What is becoming Sakshi with reference to action, sir? That is called non-result orientation. You see that? When you stand away from action without result orientation, that is called witnessing your action, becoming a witness. When you attempt to be a witness, you will be able to witness the self which is within you, standing as a witnessing consciousness. So what you have to do, sir, surrender. Surrender doesn't mean immediately you become emotionally dependent. You see, the dependency will go off. Otherwise, we think, surrender means dependency comes into picture. No. You are not dependent. Remember, you are independent. That independence is what is indicated here by saying, you will behold the Lord seated in your heart. Hridayastham is seated in your heart. Okay. So this Bhagavad Gita, this Bhajagovindam is completed. As a practice, we have this, we don't feel that we have completed the study. We have just got that, motivation to study only. So just to give that understanding, we read the first verse again, so that we don't believe that, we have completed. That's all, Bhajagovindam is over now. We say, no. We are only now starting to recognize what is Bhajagovindam and we study. Now that second reading, when you give, it gives a different feel. So strictly speaking, I would prefer like this. What we should do is again do Bhajagovindam class. You see. So what next is that? Bhajagovindam. Study. And then after that, what you do? After Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam. That is how this knowledge is learned. See. But it's not, possible direct, even though theoretically we say that, but we need to understand that is how we should be studying. The study should be to repeat again and again and again. That's how you hit the depth. It's like pile driving, he says. You hit the depth. You see, your knowledge should be like that. To go into this again, deep it should go. So that's the thing. That's why we read the first verse, to indicate that, our humility, that you have not completed the learning, one. On the other hand, intellectually, we should understand it's only the beginning. It's not the end of the study. So read the first verse. Okay. Together. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam, Govindam, Bhajamodamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahinairakshati dukkam karani. With this, we are completing this Bhajagovindam class. Next one, what generally I do is this. I do one summary class of that entire Bhajagovindam. So we'll do that on Monday. So Monday, I'll do the summary of entire Bhajagovindam. We'll try to sink it in one class and complete that, central ideas that we have studied in Bhajagovindam. Thank you. Hari Om.